Before we proceed further, I wanted to show you several tweaks and changes that you can make to DBeaver to improve your overall experience going forward. First, let's look at changing the font size. Go up to Window, Preferences, and in the search bar, type in Font. Select Colors and Fonts, and you'll find that you'll be taken to this dialog. Expand Basic, scroll down, and select Text Font. If you now click Edit, you can change the font size of the text in your editor. I've got my font size set to something quite big right now, 24, just for recording purposes. Play around with the different fonts and font sizes and choose something that's comfortable for you. In particular, you'll find that if you're on a Mac, by default the font size is quite small, so you likely want to increase it. The next preference that we may want to change is changing the tab width. Right now, it's set to 4 spaces. And you may also want to change the editor to use spaces instead of the tab character. So up in the search bar again, search for tab, and under General Editors Text Editor, we can tick Insert Spaces for tabs, and change the tab width from 4 to 2. If you hit Apply and Close, that takes effect immediately. Obviously, you're welcome to keep tabs instead of spaces if you prefer that, and to set your tab width to whatever you like. Spaces instead of tabs, and 2 spaces is my preferred preference though. You may have noticed as well that autocomplete suggestions are offered as you type. For example, if I'm writing a create table statement, notice how it was popping up suggestions as I was typing. In my opinion though, these are not particularly useful, so I like to turn these off. If you want to do that as well, go to Window, Preferences, search for Completion, and under SQL Completion, I untick all 3 of these options. Apply and Close, and now you'll see as I type, I don't get suggestions. Do note though that even after turning these off, you can still get autocomplete suggestions if you want. You just have to press Control Space as you're typing to get them. For example, I can start typing create, Control Space, and now I'll get that autocomplete suggestion again. In my opinion, that's less annoying than getting prompts all the time, but it's up to you. Feel free to leave these on if you want. There are a couple of changes I also like to make to data formatting. So in Window, Preferences, search for Data Format. And in this dialog, I like to change the number format to turn off grouping. And you notice below that there's a sample value to demonstrate what the change would look like. So when we turn off grouping, it removes the commas. For me, this is preferable because often the numbers that you're displaying in your results windows might be, for example, the year or something like that, where it doesn't really make sense to have grouping. I also like to turn off Use Data Type Scale for fraction digits, which in DBeaver tends to result in fractional numbers having too many digits after the decimal point, and it can look a little bit strange. You may notice as well that when I'm working in the editor primarily, I like to minimize the database navigator so it's not in the way. For example, right now it's minimized. If I bring it back, I can click over here on the database navigator, I can select Restore, and likewise for the project view, I can restore that as well. If you like the minimized view like me, then just come up here and select the minimize option for both the project view and the database navigator view. And once you've done this, you can just bring them back as needed, and then click out when you're finished. DBeaver also supports theming, and in particular, it has a dark theme. To enable that, go to Window, Preferences, search for Theme, and click on the Appearance button. My theme is currently set to light. We could change that to dark, and hit Apply and Close. Okay, so hopefully these tips help improve your DBeaver experience for the coming videos.